If you're getting around in the air and you're flying Lynx, you could be in trouble, as the airline has announced it's going to cease operations as of next week.
The airline has announced it is seeking an order for creditor protection. The company says the challenges it's facing have become, quote, too significant to overcome. Lynx will stop operations on Monday, but flights will continue to operate over the weekend. Lynx currently flies to destinations throughout Canada, the U.S., and Mexico. The company says passengers with existing bookings are being advised to contact their credit card company to secure those refunds.
Let's check in right now with CB24's Eden Ababa live at Pearson Airport, talking to passengers flying Lynx and finding out how they're feeling. Eden.
Absolutely, because Nick, at the end of the day, this really does affect the passengers the most. We're actually joined by air passengers' rights specialist, Gabor Lukacs. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Gabor. I want to get right into this with you. I want to know your initial reaction to the way that Lynx Air actually notified passengers of the situation, just how little notice they really got.
Good morning, Eden. It is unfortunate passengers received so little notice, but it is not unusual given that you don't want to announce CCA protection until it's actually in place.
And I don't know if you've seen any of the reports online, but many people are posting that flights even this weekend have been delayed or canceled altogether before Monday's deadline. Is that typical in a situation like this? It is not unexpected. It is actually quite nice that at least some of the flights are going to operate until Sunday. It could have also happening with other airline bankruptcies, that they just stopped flying all of a sudden and then bankruptcy protection was sought and flights were canceled first. So it looks, in the grand scheme of things, far more organized of a situation than what we would typically see. And let's take a focus on what advice Lynx is actually telling their passengers, specifically around credit card refunds. They're saying they don't have any refunds to give. Contact your credit card provider for that. Is that typical in a situation like this? And if so, how should passengers go about doing that? That is actually the correct information, because they don't have money. But if you paid using credit card, then the credit card company has to actually refund you, even if the airline doesn't reimburse the bank or the credit card. That is under provincial statutes. We do have a guide on our website at airpassengerrights.ca called Statutory Chargeback, and it explains how the chargeback works in each of the provinces where it is available under statute. Also, some credit cards have in their own internal policies, rules, some language for a refund in such situations, and that will be called an internal or contractual chargeback. And for those who've already had their flights with Lynx outside of the country and are now wondering how they're going to be getting home, what's their best course of action? Rebooking with a new airline, waiting to see if Lynx follows through, or another option altogether? My instinct would be, if you are stranded, book with another airline and worry about somehow recovering some of the expenses later, possibly. The odds are not great. If you booked with a travel agent in British Columbia, Ontario, or Quebec, you may be able to recover some expenses that way, although it depends very much on your province's travel compensation fund scheme. Quebec has the most generous in some ways, but unfortunately in such situations you may be on your own. Okay, important advice for passengers there. That's Gabor Lukacs, who's the president of Air Passenger Rights. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
And Nick and Jen, I'm going to send it back to you both at the desk.
Okay, Eden, thank you for that conversation.